Am I going to answer the question, is it worth owning an older truck or owning a newer truck? No, I'm not going to answer that, because you can't answer that. Everything matters. Well, on today's agenda, we're already loaded. But if you remember yesterday, where Opie did what he wasn't supposed to do, we're at that truck stop right now. Right over there, across the way, is where we got loaded. 43,000 pounds of, chicken feed. See? You're not missing much. So far, our little local adventure that we've been doing the past couple weeks has paid for itself. There we go, sealed up, ready to go. But yeah, it's paid for itself in the wise of, well, we haven't had to do a lot of sitting. This load's gonna go from St. Joe, Missouri to Sioux City, Iowa. You guys asked me a while back what it's like to have to maintenance an old truck versus a new truck. There's not a whole lot to chitter chat about on that, but we're going to talk about it a little bit today. First, let's get some miles behind us. I'll be back with you in a little bit. going to be, I'm just letting you know, it's going to be tight. That's why I was wondering what time you'd start your bullshit. Pictures, all that fun stuff. Alright, just keeping you in the loop there. You're probably going to be the guinea pig with it. Holy Toledo. I was trying to hit record the whole time we were going through town or coming into town here. We're in Missouri Valley, by the way, and everybody was calling me, and I can't leave the parts in because I keep forgetting my phone up there, because whenever you guys are mounted inside the cab, you guys can see whatever's going on in the cab, and I really don't want my nephew's number all over YouTube or Warden's phone number all over YouTube. All right, the truck is way over there. I wanted to talk in front of the truck, but instead we're going to talk in front of this big green pasture here. Pasture, it's a yard, Schmidt. Am I going to answer the question, is it worth owning an older truck or owning a newer truck? No, I'm not going to answer that, because you can't answer that. Everything matters. The newest engine I've ever owned in a truck is that one. The newest engine I've ever driven in a truck is 2002 Cat. So I've never been around new trucks. All I do know is the stories I hear. I have buddies that have new trucks, and it costs a lot of money to fix those things. I mean, insanity. They're going for a sensor replacement and it'll be $2,000. Whew. That's a lot of bank, man. A lot of guys say they buy a brand new truck every, I don't know, 2-3 years. That way their truck's always under warranty. Well, from what I've been told, warranty can sometimes be a hassle to get money out of, or get repairs done. When they take that truck in to get worked on, let's say you have a sensor, your truck's not running right, they have to keep finding it, and trust me, their little computers don't tell them everything. Well, let's say it takes them a week to find it. Warranty's not going to pay for your downtime. That's one thing warranty's not going to pay for. At least I don't think it's going to pay for. I've never had it, so I don't know what to tell you there. One thing I do know, though, in the wise of owning first class, I own my truck. My truck is paid for. I have yearly expenses. I have yearly insurance premiums. I have yearly, I have yearly permits, heavy use taxes I have to pay. I have yearly registration that I have to pay, but that's all once a year. Once I pay those once a year fees, this truck could set for the rest of the year. Now granted, I wouldn't have any money to pay for those once a year fees come time to pay for them. I don't have a truck payment. And then a lot of guys will say, well, it doesn't matter if you have a truck payment or no truck payment. Trucks cost money all the time. Yeah, they do. Those truck payments, you have to have, $3,500 a month, I've heard. I've heard from that all the way down to $1,500 a month. That's money you have to have. You have to make that money. You don't have an option. Versus no truck payments. If I don't have that money, then I don't have to put it into it. Well, I'm gonna run in here, grab him a cheeseburger. Then we're gonna talk about what first class needs and where owning an older truck is not pleasant. You want it or not? He probably doesn't want it. His tummy probably still hurts from that pizza. It's torture, isn't it? I probably opened up a can of worms with this whole is owning an older truck better than owning a newer truck issue. Realistically, though, it's not an issue, because you know what, this is too much talking. Let's get some miles underneath of us, and then we can talk some more. Well, now let's talk about the joys of owning an older truck. Well, let's just say you better love your truck if you're going to own an older truck. Me personally, I love driving older equipment. I actually consider my truck, which is a 2000, kind of new. I used to run that 86 Freightliner up and down the road, and I loved running it. When I'm running older equipment, I don't know, I just like it. That's just the way it is. But there's a lot of stress that comes along with them. Well, let's just talk about wiring. You know, the wiring in first class is shot. Every ounce of it is just shot. Every time I turn around, I'm replacing something that has to do with wiring. And, well, that gets annoying. That gets annoying in a really big hurry. Everything with her suspension, her all the bushings inside of all the joints, the front end, all that stuff is starting to get a little weak. It's not shot, but it is starting to get a little weak. What else? You know, am I gonna stay, you know, I don't, during the winter, I think first class struggles a little bit harder than the newer trucks to keep warm. At least I'm assuming so, because when I walk past newer trucks, if they're running, most new trucks don't even idle anymore, but if they're running, they're just at idle. Me and this old girl, if I want to stay warm, I gotta have the idle cranked up to at least 1,000 to keep her warm. When I turn corners coming into truck stops, or basically anywhere I go, this old girl's making all kinds of noise. She's grunting and grinding and popping and banging. And in the wise of maintenance on her, she's pretty easy actually. You know, but you know, we talked about those rear ends. Those rear ends are getting wore out. Transmission's good. The engine's got about 500,000 miles on it, so I'm good for a long time on that. Probably run this cat to around 1.4 or 1.5 million miles, and we'll be good to go. Probably rebuild it then. Her interior's doing decent. Could it use a facelift? Yeah, it could use a facelift. Could it use some more insulation? It could use a lot more insulation. She could use a lot of things, and that's just part of the old truck. Part of having an old truck is you need all the, you know, you always have your mind thinking about what I need to do, what I can do, and what I should do. But that's why I like driving an old truck too, is because my mind is always thinking, what can I do, what do I need to do, what do I want to do. If you haven't guessed it yet, we're back in Sioux City, Iowa. We just dropped our trailer off here at the yard, and they're going to deliver it tomorrow morning. Those guys I always talk about here at the yard, there's two of them that they're not shag drivers, but they will take our loaded trailers to where they need to be here in the city. They will go get trailers loaded for us and bring them back here to the yard for the highway drivers can just pull in here, grab them, and go. And yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't show them, or I don't tell them enough how much I appreciate what they do. That is that's just something that makes this job so much easier, is not having to worry about a lot of that until I get out on the road, but not having to worry about it while I'm local. As for right now, we are pulled over. I am going to try to get a decent picture. Oh, that truck's dirty. A decent picture of Opie with the truck. That way, yesterday's video, you guys already seen it by now. Yesterday's video has a decent thumbnail to it. What do you think? You think you want to go fly hunting? Okay, so let's get you in a picture. Let's try to, at least. This ought to be interesting. Getting pretty good. Okay, how about you sit right here? That work for you? Well, that works too, but I need you to sit right here and face me. That work? Alrighty, I'm gonna do it for you then, okay? Come here. Oh, we're gonna take a good picture. Ears up, ears up. Put your ears up. No, not down. Up. Ears up. No, not down. Up. Oh, but you need your ears up. Stay. Stay. Ah! You guys okay? You look a little crooked. Are you crooked? Or is it just me? No, you're crooked. He's getting pretty good at that. I forgot to hit record with the camera. Sorry, you're crooked. Here, let me... And he stood by the camera, this camera, until I came back and hit record. Because he knew I forgot to hit record. That's a good dog there. As for what is better to own, a new truck or an old truck? Come on out. Well, it's easy. New trucks, they're basically just paperweights, aren't they? I'm just kidding. I'm just fooling, as they say. I'm just kidding. I did not mean that. There's a lot of beautiful old truck or beautiful new trucks out there. And technically new trucks probably are maintenance free to a point. A lot more maintenance free than that old girl sitting out there. I think the key to owning an old truck, an older truck, that's not old in my book, but an older truck, is you got to keep up on it. When something starts to wear out, when something starts to give you fits, when something starts to go kind of wappy on it, you got to get it fixed, or you got to fix it. And I know you guys are screaming at me right now, screaming at your TV, well, you don't do that, Schmidt. You don't keep up on anything. Well, you know what? Dad, I know you're watching this. I blame you. I truly do. I love you, but I blame you. Me and Dad, I tell you what, we'll hear something start making a noise. We're complaining about it for about 6 months. It'll break. Then we're going to take duct tape. We're going to wrap duct tape around it. We're going to fix it. Then maybe about 500 miles later, we'll fix it the right way. Yeah, that's probably just the way we do it. Either which way, guys. Old versus new. In my book, old will always win. Always. If I was a multi-millionaire, you would not see a brand new truck sitting out there. You would see, well, you don't even have to be a millionaire, but you would see a fully restored 2000 Kenworth W900. Guys, remember, this whole video is just my opinion. As for right now, we are home for the night. We need to get ready for soccer because, like I told you guys, it's soccer season. So we're going to go to our soccer game, have some fun at that. Come on, Oak. Do some fun with that and hit her back at it tomorrow probably. As always, guys, keep yourself safe. And I forgot, how's that go again? Keep safe, and as always, I'll see you next time. That sound about right? Get up there, bud. Good try, Troy.